It can be confusing when a man acts distant while falling for you, but there are several psychological reasons behind it. From fear of vulnerability to the need for independence, his behavior often reflects inner struggles. Understanding these reasons can help you build a stronger, more patient connection without jumping to conclusions. Lesson 1: Fear of vulnerability. Men act distant when they like you because they fear being vulnerable. They don't want to show their true feelings. Let's be real, when a man pulls away, it's often because he's afraid of getting hurt. It's not that he doesn't care about you, but vulnerability feels like a risk. It's like handing someone the keys to your heart and hoping they don't break it. Think about it. How many times have you seen a guy act distant when he's getting close to someone? It's a defense mechanism, not a sign that he doesn't care. He's simply scared to let you see the real him. Here's the thing, if you keep pushing him for more, trying to get him to open up when he's not ready, it will backfire. Instead of feeling closer, he'll feel trapped. He might even pull away completely, thinking that getting too close to you means he's at risk of getting hurt. If I let you in, will you just leave me? That's the fear. And if you keep forcing him, you'll create a bigger emotional distance. You could end up pushing him right out of your life. Be patient and understanding. Give him the time and space to open up at his own pace. Don't pressure him to talk about his feelings if he's not ready. Just because he acts distant doesn't mean he doesn't care. He's just trying to protect himself. If you let him feel safe and supported, he'll slowly let down his walls. But if you don't, you'll only push him further away. Lesson 2: Overthinking his actions. Men can seem distant because they overthink everything they do around you. They don't want to mess up. Men often overthink their actions when they start liking someone. They worry about saying the wrong thing or doing something that might push you away. Imagine he does something small, like not texting back right away. He might spend hours thinking about it, worrying that you'll think he's not interested. This overthinking can make him act distant or cold, but it's just his mind running wild, not that he doesn't care. Now, if you don't understand this and get upset over small things, it can make him more anxious. The last thing he wants is to mess things up, so if you show frustration or disappointment, he might back off even more. It's like putting him in a mental trap where he feels he can't do anything right. And the more you react to his overthinking, the further he'll retreat. Give him space to think things through. Don't jump to conclusions when he acts distant. Let him process things on his own. If you start stressing over every little thing, you'll make him feel even more nervous and unsure. Understand that his distance isn't always about you, it's about his own worries. Show support and patience. Lesson 3: Struggles with emotional regulation. When a man is falling for you, he might struggle to handle his emotions. This can make him pull back. Men can find it really tough to deal with their feelings, especially when they start to feel strongly about someone. They might feel happy one minute and anxious the next. Imagine if he suddenly feels very excited about your relationship but then gets scared about where it's all heading. This roller coaster of emotions can be overwhelming, and his way of handling it might be to step back a bit. If you don't recognize that he's just trying to handle his feelings, you might think he doesn't care or that he's playing games. This misunderstanding can create a lot of tension between you two. When he needs space to figure out his emotions, pressuring him to be more open or affectionate can push him away even further. He might feel like he's not good enough or that he can't give you what you need. Be supportive and don't take his need for space personally. Understand that his distance might be him trying to sort out his feelings, not a sign that he's lost interest. Give him the room to breathe and manage his emotions. By being understanding and patient, you help him feel safe to explore his feelings without fear of judgment or pressure. This can ultimately lead to a stronger connection once he's ready to open up. Lesson 4: Testing the depth of the connection. Men might act distant when they're falling for you because they want to test how deep the connection really is. When a man is starting to like someone, he sometimes steps back to see how strong the bond is. He may pull away to test whether you'll still care for him if he isn't always there. It's like he's asking himself, will she still be interested if I'm not constantly around? This isn't because he wants to hurt you, but because he's unsure if the connection is real or just temporary. If you don't understand this, you might think he's losing interest and feel hurt. But if you chase him or get upset, he might start doubting the connection even more. The relationship could end up feeling unstable, and you both could lose trust. You need to show him that you're there, without being overly needy, to help him feel secure about the relationship. Give him space to test the connection, but don't chase him. Show that you're committed without forcing things. If you give him space to realize how much he cares for you, the relationship will grow stronger. But if you push too hard, it could backfire, and he might pull even further away. Lesson 5. Striving for independence. Men may act distant because they value their independence, even when they like you. Men often need time alone to feel like themselves. Even if they're falling for you, they still want to keep their personal space and freedom. They might step back a little to make sure they don't lose their independence while starting a relationship. It's not that they don't care about you, but they need balance. If they feel like they're losing themselves in a relationship, they may pull away to protect their freedom. If you don't understand this, you might feel neglected or think he's not as interested. But pushing him to spend more time together or do everything with you could make him feel trapped. The more you push, the more he may pull away to keep his sense of self intact. It could lead to distance, and he might start resenting the pressure. Respect his need for independence. Give him the space he needs to be himself, while still showing that you care. A healthy relationship is one where both people can maintain their own lives and identities. If you don't give him that space, you risk making him feel smothered and distant. Lesson 6. Fear of expectations. Men might act distant because they fear the expectations that come with falling for you. When a man starts to like someone, he might feel pressure because he's worried about meeting your expectations. He may wonder if he can live up to what you want in a relationship. This fear can cause him to pull back. He doesn't want to disappoint you or feel like he's not good enough. It's not about not caring, it's about the pressure of having to be perfect. If you don't recognize this, you might think he's not interested, or that he's avoiding you. But in reality, he might just be trying to figure out if he can meet the high standards he thinks you have. If you push him too much or make him feel like he's not measuring up, it can make him pull even further away. Reassure him and remove the pressure. Show him that you care for who he truly is, not for some perfect version of him. By being understanding and supportive, you help him feel safe and not so overwhelmed by expectations. This will help him feel more comfortable and confident in the relationship. Lesson 7. Unresolved past trauma. Men might act distant because of past emotional pain or trauma they haven't fully healed from. Sometimes, when a man pulls away, it's because of things from his past that still affect him. He might have been hurt in a previous relationship or had bad experiences that make it hard for him to trust or fully open up. Even if he's falling for you, those past wounds can make him cautious. He doesn't want to get hurt again, so he keeps his distance to protect himself. If you don't understand this, you might take his distance personally, thinking it's something you did. But it's actually about his past experiences. If you keep pushing him without understanding what he's been through, it could push him away even more. He might feel like he's repeating old patterns, and that can hurt both of you. Be patient and empathetic. Let him know you're there for him without pushing him to open up too fast. Give him time to heal and let him share when he's ready. If you don't understand this, you might miss the chance to help him heal and move forward in the relationship. Lesson 8. Feeling unworthy of the connection. Men might act distant because they feel unworthy of the relationship. When a man starts to fall for someone, he may start feeling like he's not good enough for you. He might think, why would someone like her want to be with me? This feeling of being unworthy can make him pull away because he's scared that you'll eventually see his flaws and leave. It's not that he doesn't care about you, it's just that he's not sure he deserves the love and attention you're giving him. If you don't understand this, you might think he doesn't like you or isn't as invested in the relationship. But in reality, he's dealing with his own self-doubt. If you react by pushing him or showing frustration, it can make him feel worse about himself and pull away even more. This self-doubt can create distance between you two. Reassure him and remind him of his worth. Show him that you like him for who he truly is, not for some perfect version of himself. Being patient and supportive can help him feel more secure in the relationship. If you don't offer reassurance, he might continue feeling unworthy and distant. Lesson 9. Wanting to maintain mystery. Men sometimes act distant because they want to keep a sense of mystery in the relationship. When a man is falling for someone, he might want to keep some things hidden to keep the spark alive. He may not want to share everything too soon because he thinks revealing too much could make the relationship lose its excitement. The mystery keeps things interesting for him, and he might pull away to keep that sense of wonder alive between you two. If you don't understand this, you might think he's hiding something or doesn't trust you. But the reality is, he's just trying to maintain that sense of excitement. If you push him to share everything right away, you might make him feel like the mystery is gone, and that can take away some of the thrill of the relationship. Let him maintain some mystery. Don't try to force him to open up about everything at once. Allow the relationship to grow naturally, with a little bit of suspense to keep things fun. If you rush things or demand full honesty too soon, you could make him feel overwhelmed and lose the excitement he wants. Lesson 10. Protecting his masculinity. Men act distant because they feel the need to protect their masculinity. When a man starts to fall for someone, he might pull away because he's trying to protect his sense of masculinity. Society often teaches men to be tough, strong, and independent, so when they start to feel deeply for someone, it can make them feel vulnerable. He might think that showing too much emotion or affection will make him seem weak or not manly enough. So, he might distance himself to keep that image intact. If you don't understand this, you might feel hurt or confused by his actions, thinking he doesn't care. But in reality, he's just trying to stay true to what he believes makes him strong. If you push him too much or criticize his actions, it can make him feel like he's losing control over his masculinity, which can lead him to pull even further away. Respect his need to feel strong and independent. Understand that his distance might be a way of protecting his image. Give him space to be himself while still showing him you care. If you push too hard, it could make him feel insecure about his identity. Let the relationship grow naturally, where he can feel both strong and vulnerable at the same time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share it with someone who might relate. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more insightful content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.